Good evening, I'm Prasad Michael and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. In today's episode, Malaysia gets closer to reaching its one-digit goal after 2 days of triple-digit COVID-19 increases. After reporting triple-digit increases for 2 consecutive days due to the COVID-19 outbreak at immigration detention centres, Malaysia only reported 15 new cases on Wednesday. This is due to the majority of cases in the immigration detention centres having been detected and isolated.
So indeed that we are looking into our modelling. Our modelling have shown that if we adhere to the SOP, we will manage to bring down the cases further. Today we have 15 cases, 6 cases are imported cases. So which means today is the first time that we get single-digit 9 cases local transmission. So we managed to bring down not only from double-digit but to single-digit 9 cases today.
From the 9 local transmission, 4 cases involve individuals who aren't Malaysian citizens and the remaining 5 were Malaysian citizens. During the Health Ministry press conference today, Dr Noor Hisham was also asked about the possibility of another spike in the number of cases as a result of people not complying with the government SOPs during Hari Raya.
The easing of the restriction movement, and despite of that, we are still able to achieve a single digit. So that's good, but we have to adhere and comply to the SOP. So social compliance, social responsibility, social discipline is important. The onus is not only on the shoulders of Ministry of Health and the government, but the onus now is on the public. So we want to empower the public. As one of the criteria, exit criteria WHO, this number 6 is there is empowerment, the community empowerment. If the community can continue to comply to and adhere to the SOP that been given, rest assured that we can bring down the cases. But if not, then we will see the cases continue to rise over a period of time.
Meanwhile, Singapore confirmed an additional 533 COVID-19 cases as of noon today, bringing the number of people infected to over 32,000, with about 50% of the patients having fully recovered as of Tuesday. The data on new cases showed that only 3 were Singaporean or permanent residents, while the rest were migrant workers at dormitories, the Republic's Health Ministry said in a statement. Our senior minister has hit back at critics who have called the government's handling of undocumented migrants inhumane. Also, if you're planning to fly your drone or go fishing, this next story may be of interest. Senior Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob has hit back at several NGOs for protesting the arrest of undocumented migrants during the COVID-19 pandemic. During his daily press conference in Putrajaya on security matters, Ismail said it was wrong to accuse Putrajaya of treating undocumented migrants inhumanely.
Tak baik menuduh Malaysia bertindak tanpa peri kemanusiaan. Sebenarnya negara lain jauh lebih teruk untuk mereka kendalikan parti di negara mereka. Kita ni kira baik dah. Jadi tak payahlah ada di kalangan pemimpin politik ke pemimpin NGO nak mengambil kesempatan ini untuk menjadi hero kepada parti.
Ismail was responding to Suhakam, which accused the government of treating migrant workers in an unfair manner, including conducting raids amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Ismail added that Suhakam may be confused as there are 2 categories of migrants in the country: those who enter the country legally with the proper permits, with a wide range of rights and privileges as they are here legally, and those who entered and stayed illegally.
Jadi, kalau nak kata kerajaan Malaysia tidak berperi kemanusiaan kepada parti ini juga tidak betul. Tetapi ianya tidak mengubah status mereka. Bila mereka ada di sini, walaupun kita layan mereka, tetapi status mereka terus kekal parti. Dan mereka tidak berhak untuk berada di negara kita kerana masuk secara haram. Jadi sebab itulah keputusan mesyuarat semalam, kita akan berbincang dengan negara-negara asal mereka supaya boleh mengambil mereka.
Meanwhile, individuals who wish to fly their recreational drones during the Conditional Movement Control Order must seek approval from the relevant authorities before takeoff.
Drone ni sebenarnya kelulusan untuk terbang tu bukan di bawah MKN ataupun di bawah jawatan kuasa khas ataupun mesyuarat khas menteri-menteri. Kerana permit drone ini dikeluarkan oleh pihak berkuasa penerbangan Malaysia. Kalau dulu DCA, sekarang ni dipanggil Pusat Pihak Berkuasa Penerbangan. Jadi mereka yang mengeluarkan permit untuk drone ini.
Without being able to fly their drones, some people may turn to recreational fishing to pass some time. However, they'll need to be mindful where they do it.
Saya dah sebut beberapa kali, memancing ini dianggap sebagai riadah. Tetapi riadah yang boleh menyebabkan berlaku perkumpulan ramai tidak dibenarkan kerana perhimpunan tidak dibenarkan. Saya dah sebutkan bahawa kolam kita tidak benarkan. Sebab kolam biasanya dia tidak macam tasik besar. Jadi boleh ada jarak dan sebagainya. Tepi sungai, nak memancing ikan di tepi sungai, mengancing di sawah, mungkin boleh.
It may be 2020, but sexual harassment still hasn't been made a thing of the past. But the issue has managed to unite politicians across the political divide. Members of Parliament, including from the executive, have thrown their support behind two DAP representatives who received death threats besides being sexually harassed online recently. This came in the wake of a police report lodged by Selangor State Assembly person for Bandar Utama, Jamalia Jamaluddin, after she received violent threats of rape and murder via Facebook. According to The Sun, which quoted the All Women's Action Society, the perpetrator had also allegedly posted racist remarks against Jamalia and Kampung Tunku State Assembly person Lim Yi Wei. UMNO leader Azalina Othman, who is Pengerang MP, took to Twitter this morning to express her frustration over such an attack. She ended her tweet with several hashtags, including the popular Me Too global movement against sexual harassment and women politicians must unite. Bagan MP Lim Guan Eng condemned the attacks on Jamalia and Yi Wei and urged the authorities to take immediate action against the perpetrator. Port Dickson MP Anwar Ibrahim, who is PKR president, also took to Twitter to urge for an immediate investigation to be launched on the harassment. Former Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports Stephen Sim meanwhile called for Perikatan Nasional Government to speed up the tabling of a bill in Parliament against sexual harassment. Expressing his disgust over what happened to Jamalia and Yi Wei, he said the incident, however, was only one of the numerous times that politicians, as well as other women and girls, had to endure harassment because of their gender. Suakam wasn't the only group to take issue with the government's handling of undocumented migrants. Lawyers for Liberty also spoke out today, and this is what they had to say. Human rights group Lawyers for Liberty has criticised Senior Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob for saying that the government will not bow down to demands to protect migrant rights in its attempt to protect Malaysians from the COVID-19 pandemic. Lawyers for Liberty coordinator Zaid Malik in a statement said it is startling that the government believes that the mass incarceration of undocumented migrants during the movement control order would protect Malaysians from the pandemic. Zayed added that any increase in cases will be a burden to the healthcare system, and the spread of COVID-19, even among migrants in detention centres, may increase risk of infection to immigration officers, staff and frontline workers who have to deal with those infected. Yesterday, Ismail had told his critics to be thankful to Putrajaya for detaining undocumented migrants who could spread COVID-19 to the general public if they are allowed to roam freely. He added that he could not understand why there are groups raising the issue of their arrest when there should be no issue at all.
Saya tidak tahu di mana-mana negara pun dalam dunia ini yang membenarkan mereka yang masuk ke negara secara haram tanpa dokumen sah boleh bebas bergerak dan sebagainya. Tidak ada. Mereka yang masuk ke negara secara haram adalah salah dari segi undang-undang negara dan boleh ditangkap. Itu jelas di dalam undang-undang kita.
Zahid challenged this view, saying that further mass detention of migrants could only worsen the problem, as crowded detention centres would be the perfect setting for a major spike in COVID-19 cases. As of Tuesday, a total of 4,342 undocumented migrants were detained at the immigration detention depots in Bukit Jalil, Semenyih and KLIA. The government had adopted a standard operating procedure to round them up in enhanced MCO areas when the lockdown is about to be lifted. Zayed called on the Perikatan Nasional Government to acknowledge that many of these undocumented migrants are victims of those exploiting ineffective government policies. Coming up next, a US company moves closer to making a coronavirus vaccine. And then we take a look at how robots are being used in South Korea to help with social distancing. American biotech company Novavax announced on Monday it has started phase 1 of a clinical trial for a coronavirus vaccine. US biotech company Novavax Incorporated joined the race to test coronavirus vaccine candidates on humans and said it was targeting production of over 1 billion doses of its vaccine candidate next year. The company, which enrolled its first participants on Monday, said it expected preliminary data on safety and indicators of an immune response from the trial in July.
What we're bringing to the table is a very strong immunogenic vaccine. It gives you functional responses. We've recently seen in our animal testing very strong what we call neutralizing antibodies, which should be protective when they're induced in humans.
Shares of the company jumped nearly 15% to $52.97 on Tuesday, a day after US trading resumed following Monday's Memorial Day closure. The announcement of Novavax vaccine trial comes as drug makers pause clinical trials on drugs for other ailments to focus on COVID-19, the illness caused by the novel coronavirus that has resulted in more than 346,000 deaths globally. Novavax aims to produce over 1 billion vaccine doses next year and would ship some vaccine itself and others through partners with non-profit organizations and drug makers. The World Health Organization on Friday said 10 experimental vaccines were being tested on humans, including the Novavax compound. Groups including CanSino, Moderna, and an alliance between Oxford University and AstraZeneca have moved or are close to moving on to enlarged trials from initial testing on small groups of participants. Novavax said that Phase 1 trial in Australia would involve some 130 healthy participants aged 18 to 59, with a second phase to be conducted later in several countries, including the United States. The Phase 2 trial will assess immunity, safety and COVID-19 disease reduction in a broader age range. Experts predict a vaccine would take 12 to 18 months to develop. A new robot barista in a cafe in Daejeon, South Korea is courteous and swift as it seamlessly makes its way towards customers. Is this the future? Now we just need to find robot barbers in Malaysia. Meet South Korea's robot barista. The robot makes 60 different types of coffee and uses self-driving technology to calculate the best routes around the cafe. After managing to contain the outbreak of the new coronavirus that has infected more than 11,000 people and killed 269, South Korea is slowly transitioning from intensive social distancing rules towards what the government calls distancing in daily life. And according to Lee Dongbae, Director of Research at Vision Semicon, a smart factory solution provider which developed the barista robot together with a state-run science institute, robots could help people observe social distancing in public.
Our system needs no input from people from order to delivery. And tables were sparsely arranged to ensure smooth movements of robots, which fits well with the current no-contact and distancing campaign.
The only human employee at the two-story cafe has some cleaning duties and refills ingredients. The manufacturer and the scientific institute aim to supply at least 30 cafes with robots this year. However, not everyone is keen on the idea.
So we hear about automation a lot these days. I'm a bit worried about the job market as many of my friends are doing part-time jobs at cafes and these robots would replace humans.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll be back with more tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.